Charles Winston. From simple elegance to opulent luxury, every piece in this collection conveys style and glamour. And best of all, it's affordable. Featuring some of the finest cubic zirconia in the world, you can count on Charles Winston for the highest quality at the lowest prices. The Charles Winston Collection, here on ShopNBC.
Good evening and welcome back. My name is Jim Skelton. I'm going to be here with you for the next 2 hours for Stuhrling Original. We're going to have a great show. We've got some great brand new markdowns, some great brand new pieces. I know a lot of you were emailing asking, when are you going to get that great brand new skeleton back? We have it again tonight. We have the brand new Swiss chronograph. We've got a lot of great stuff. But first I want to let you know about a couple of shows that we have coming up before we get started tonight. And the first of which is going to be Computer Store, and that is tomorrow the 25th at 1 a.m. Eastern, and Carrie McNally is going to be here with you for that. And as always, you're going to see an amazing computer dealer. You're going to see mega power, lots of software, and maybe a surprise or two. With Carrie, there's always a surprise. And coming up also Saturday the 26th will be the Proform treadmill on our top value for that day. It's going to be kicking off at midnight Eastern, so you do want to stay tuned. Again, our top value is your time to pick up on the greatest price of the season. And obviously, you know, the treadmills here go very fast. You want to catch that when it launches, because it very well could sell out overnight before you even would normally wake up in the morning. We've had that happen so many times, so don't be missing out on that. Now, the first thing I'd like to do right now is get into a preview, show you some of the great watches that we have coming up this hour, and then we're going to bring out Mr. Larry Magen from Stuhrling Original, and we're going to kick this baby off. And here we see our first item, J132750. Now, you might recognize the type of design behind this, and you know, as Larry and I have mentioned before, you'd be spending thousands of dollars, and here you're getting really a phenomenal piece. You got a genuine nubuck leather strap on here. Now the case diameter, I believe, is about 43 millimeters. I love how the bezel goes around the crown. It's a great kind of vintage design. And what are we doing on that there, Mr. Ken? I don't think it's going to be $199. Ken, my producer, who has got his finger hovering over the button, is going to hit it now. And we're going to see it drop down $120, dropping to $79.98. Now, this is only for the remaining quantity that we have in stock, and that's going to be it. That's the last time you're going to see this price. And it looks like we have black, blue, and silver tone. The blue, by the way, is probably going to sell out the first. That's the one I have least of. So call in quickly for that. And that is just the first of many great markdowns that you're going to be seeing over these next 2 hours. The next item that you're going to see right here, J110816. This is that classic to know that everybody loves. I love showing this watch because we get such a huge response from the Stuhrling fans out there. Now, whenever we're ready, we're going to go ahead and give you a great gift right here. We're going to take, what, $250 off, dropping to $149.97. Now, it's the silver tone dial only. But really, that's really the best one to go with because it's got the blued numerals, the blued hands. You've got the big date on there. You also have a genuine moon phase as well. And all this being powered by an automatic movement. Folks, you've got 3 value pays of $49.99. J110816. I do urge you to call in quickly. I have 3 dozen, and that is it. Now, this one I have fielded so many emails about this. This is definitely a runaway winner for Stuhrling. This is J138898. It's not just a skeleton, okay? You've got the skeletonized dial, you've got the skeletonized movement, and it looks gorgeous. But the more you look at it, the more details you see. You've got a crown that's right about the 2 o'clock position instead of the 3. And if you notice the way the movement has been set into the case, it's more, I don't know how to describe this really, more toward the top than the bottom. It's off center. This is just a flat-out cool watch, and it's $179. This is an automatic skeletonized watch, and you've got 3 value pays of $59. I can assure you, because I love this watch, that we're going to have a very long presentation on it, and I have all colors available. So please start in calling now. Also, this one here, I don't have a lot left. Really got about 3-4 dozen of each. J133242. This is an automatic with a secondary time zone, but the trick to this is the secondary time zone is on a sub-dial that rotates around once every hour. It is amazing. So the the minute hand never obstructs the view of the secondary time zone. Now, we're going to give you a special price on this as well. It is not $349. We're going to mark this down right now to $229.98 for the last of the quantity. These are sapphire crystals, 40 millimeter case diameter, and the rubberized strap, all in an automatic movement. 3 value pays of $76. J133242. Get your dialing fingers ready now, especially if you want the yellow. The yellow will go first. And another brand new Stuhrling design, J138896. And folks, I believe all but one of these watches that we have tonight are going to be automatics. Here's another great example. This is day and date. And you might recognize the style, you might not. This is a several $1,000 design, available in the rose gold, or you can get it in the silver tone, $249.99. We're going by black or brown. Black is silver tone, brown is rose. The rose tones and the brown is going to go first. I thought we had more of those. We don't have a lot left. 3 value pays of $83 is going to get this piece home. And by the way, this is about a 44 millimeter case diameter. It's a big, large, very, very elegant watch. I know Larry himself wears one whenever he goes to important meetings. He comes to see me. He's wearing this one. When he goes to the important people, he wears the other one. Anyway, J138906. This is the oval dial with the Swiss chronograph complication inside. Now, what you have, this is the Swiss Ronda 5050C. So you have a self-correcting big date complication at the 6. And in the center of the dial, you have your day window. You also have a 1/10 of a second chronograph on here. We have all 3 dials available. The rose tone, silver tone is the most limited. $349.96, 4 value pays of $87. And I'm going to tell you something special about that when we get to it. I love that. The dial on that is amazing. Now this, every time we bring it in, we sell out. And as a matter of fact, if you want the blue, you need to be on the phone line right now because I have 4 remaining. And the champagne and green, I have a dozen. This is J132911. This is a genuine sharkskin strap. It is a large to no shake case. And it's $99.98. You've got 2 value pays of $49.99. It's a great deal on a great casual wear watch. And actually, Larry's worn this a few times dressed up, and I don't really feel it was out of place that way either. It's a great multi-function watch. You do have a big date and an off-center sweep second hand at the 6 o'clock position. All for your first value pay of $49.99. Also, coming up right after that is going to be J132906. And that's going to be, oh, this is great. I have one of these, folks. This is a gorgeous watch. $249.99 gives you sapphire crystals front and back. You're getting a genuine crocodile strap on here as well. You're getting a big day complication at the 2 o'clock position. How cool is that? And you've got a secondary time zone at the 9 o'clock position. This is also, in my personal opinion, the most beautiful dial Stuhrling has ever created. I call this the sunrise dial because it looks like a sunrise pattern. J132906, only available in the rose tone, and that is it. 3 value pays of $83, and that's going to bring that home. You know, I'm so excited that we had that model back. I love this watch. Now, that is it for the preview. I want to introduce the gentleman to my right, to your left, Mr. Larry Magen.
Hey, Jim, great to be here. Great to be here. You know, I'd like to take a minute just to welcome everybody to the show. We have a great show tonight, to a lot of markdowns. But first, I just want to thank everybody for the emails. You know, Jim, we've gotten a lot of emails from people. They've all been predominantly very positive. Again, thank you very much. I enjoy reading them, and I do answer as many as possible. And it just goes to the whole Stuhrling family, the feel, something I really didn't count on and expect, you know. The customers, the fans, the collectors, they're part of the group, they're part of the family, and it's like we're going on this big joyride in 2005, and everybody's just joining on the bandwagon, and it really is great. I love those emails, Jim. Thank everybody out there for sending them.
J120876. Now, this is the steel domed watch. Well, you know, we're going to call this the bubble, okay, a bubble style. Now, I didn't preview this because I don't have a lot left. I didn't want it to sell out during the preview. This is, excuse me, the ladies only version.
Yeah, you know, Jim, this is one of our early designs, okay? We sold literally before I was with the company, before you were here, okay? This goes back a ways. It was one of our early designs, the ladies bubble, okay? We sold over a couple thousand of them, and I did some research. They originally sold right here on ShopNBC at $199. They were later, to close out the whole lot, down to $99. We found a little pocket of them in preparing for this show. There's like just under 100 pieces, I believe. We threw them in here at $79. We probably have sold more of this design, Jim, of this particular model than almost any other model in our whole line. And we are not bringing it back, by the way. This is it. Once they're gone, that's it. They're gone. That's it. So this is a real gift. It's like a giveaway here.
Now here you're going to see, here's why we're calling it the bubble, because of that wonderful magnified crystal that's on here. This does come with a genuine leather strap, and this is done in two parts. The inside is done in rubbers to give you a nice strong feel, and the outside is done in a suede leather. You've got the contrast stitching on here as well, and also the sign dual deploying clasp on there. Now at this new markdown of $79, this low quantity that we have is going to blow out of here. Now, what we have left, black I have 3 dozen, silver tone I have 2 dozen, and the gold tone I have about 3 dozen, a little hair more than 3 dozen. And that is it. Now, I do want to show it to you on our model's wrist so you can see just how petite this ladies version is. J120876. Don't forget, you do still have the value pays, 2 payments of $39.99.
You know, and Jim, it says right on the back, it's a citizen quartz movement. So you're getting a quality movement, you're getting accuracy. It's a mineral bubble, as you know. The corn bubble, of course, is what made it famous, and everybody took a whack at their own version of it, and we sold thousands of these, and we're not bringing them back. It's a great sense of style. It really is, and I'm glad that we were able to find a few pieces for this show.
Yeah, we've got to clear out the old to make room for the new, because you guys have got some amazing products coming.
The funny thing about this piece is we did clear out the old, okay? This we found, I'm embarrassed to even admit how we found, not only this one, there's a couple others on this show.
A little early spring cleaning?
I'm telling you, you know, we moved our offices, as you may know, from Midtown Manhattan out to Brooklyn. And in the move, there was a case that went out to the warehouse that was not supposed to go there, that actually had some watches in it, okay? It had about,
whoops.
Yeah, exactly. And we found it, and there was a small pocket of this one and another one. These were all gone. We sold a couple thousand of these, maybe even close to 3,000 pieces, and that was it. And we don't bring back a model. If we come back with another bubble, it'll be changed, it'll be different. Also, another unique thing here, Jim, is that it's got a big date. Okay, you don't see a lot of ladies' watches with big dates,
and especially at the 3 o'clock position. It's a traditional calendar position, but not a traditional
Folks,
big day position.
Everybody out there, jump on it, quick, get it, because we don't have a lot of these. Once they're gone, that's it. They're gone forever. So take advantage of it, and it's just a great sense of style. It really is.
Now we're going to go ahead and end this and move on a little bit. J120876, this is your final look. And again, we have black, silver tone, or gold tone remaining. I tell you, if you want the silver tone, you really need to be on the phone right now, because it's not going to last. The phone lines just lit up. I mean, look at the price, folks. It's $79. Where can you find even a great beater watch for $79? And this is going to be a fun watch that you're going to wear every day. And most fans that own a lot of Stuhrlings have a couple of these variants in their collection. So let me go ahead and we're going to move on. I think we're going to go into that Skelton next. But right now I want to let you know, J132750, this is still available in all 3 dials. The blue is getting close to being gone. And again, look at that price, $79.98. And again, you've got those 2 value pays, $39. Larry, have any thoughts on this particular design?
Oh, absolutely, yes. I love the covered crown. It's a very unique case design. It's a chronograph. It's got the design on the front, on the dial, matches the design on the back. And once again, Jim, this is something that we put together special for this show right here. In order to come in, the idea of this show, this airing, was to really come in and just clean out some old styles and so forth. This is one that sold fairly well for us. It sold well up at $199, went all the way down to $149, and then later at $99. We have a few left. We don't have a lot of stock on it, but $99 down to $79. You got to jump on that one.
And this one right here, J110816, this has been a huge hit for Stuhrling. A lot of people have emailed me going, when are we going to see this again? $149, brand new price, brand new value pace, $49. Now it's silver tone dial only, and there are 2 dozen. Half the quantity I had sold in the preview, so you do need to be on top of this.
Jim, this one is unbelievable. The ever popular to no shape. We only have a few pieces of the silver tone remaining. Yes, you can see it does have the big date. It also is a genuine moon phase as well, and it's a Stuhrling automatic, for crying out loud, for $149. This is just the end of the lot. That's all it is, folks. Everybody should take advantage of that one right there.
Now, I know this is one of your favorites just because of the unique complication to it. Not only do you have sapphire crystals front and back on a 40mm case and a rubberized strap, you've got an automatic movement that's powering your time of day. Great, that's beyond what you're paying for right there. But you're getting a secondary time zone. And on top of that, it's not just a secondary time zone. That separate dial is rotating around the dial once every hour to never be obstructed by the minute hand.
And Jim, this is a very heavy, solid piece. This is a big, chunky piece. For people that have been following our shows and been watching very religiously, we've been selling this piece by piece at $349. This is the first time we've marked it down to $229. And I believe if we can sell them out on this show, that's it. We're not going to be bringing this one back, and it's going to be gone forever. That's a great piece right there. A big, chunky, 100% stainless steel, 316L steel, solid, second time zone.
I knew you liked the watch, but...
Well, it's an automatic. Again, it's an automatic, and people have to understand that, you don't get automatics every day at, $200, $300, and these are genuine automatic watches. Now, later in the show, we actually have an automatic. I think the other one we showed was did we show that one yet? The $79 one?
No, that's
we have an automatic in this show.
Now we're giving away secrets for the next
we have an
hour.
automatic in this show for $79, but nevertheless, that rotating time zone for $229, that's fantastic.
Now, fantastic is a great word to describe this. And you know what? When you see it on my wrist, I think it's going to pretty much explain itself. Take a look at this. Now, I've shown you a lot of skeletonized watches, and I'm a big fan of skeletonized watches. I have a few myself. I love them. But what makes this one unique is the way that the entire movement has been offset, not only toward the top of the case, but also the way it's been rotated inside the case, because your crown is right up here at about I'd say almost 2:30 position, right between the 2 and 3 o'clock position. Look at how this watch sits in, the movement sits in the case, folks. Now, you do have 4 choices. You have the silver tone black, which is what silver tone black is this guy right here with the black numerals. You have that one. You have the silver tone with the blue, which is what I'm wearing. Black rose tone and silver tone rose tone. Mm-hmm. This, I think, and Larry, we given this to me about a month or so ago. I photographed it. We had a lot of fun with it. And I've worn this out, and people have just, oh, you've got my picture inside your little book there. I like that. People went nuts when I showed this to them in public.
Well, as you know, Jim, I named this watch, I dubbed it the Jim Skelton watch. I mean, it is a skeleton, but it's the Jim Skelton skeleton.
Yeah, it's about time somebody named a watch after me.
Yeah, it's the Jim Skelton. And as you can see, the dial, we have the typical trademark hallmark Stuhrling dial on it. You see the texturing on the dial. Also, it has a hand-engraved movement as well. You show that through the exhibition case back. It's not just a normal decorated movement. It's a skeletonized movement. It's hand engraved. This is spectacular. I personally favor the rose tone myself. I know you favor the stainless.
I don't know. I kind of fell in love with that rose tone with the black.
Yeah, I like the rose tone with the silver tone, but with the silver tone dial. But nevertheless, this is like you said, it's a winner for us. It's fantastic, and the price. This is an item that, and you see the retail value there at $399. I personally have a little problem with that, but we won't go there right now. There's no way this is a retail $400 watch. Nevertheless, we could have put this out at $349. We came in your January clearance theme month, of course, with just a rock'em sock'em special intro price at $179, and here we are still at $179. This is a fantastic value right here at $179.
It is. Now, I want to point out a couple of things. If we can get a nice tight shot of this dial, you're going to notice for the little bit of dial that's actually here,
yes,
you have a beautiful herringbone design that's been done right into it. This is a work of art in every sense. I'm going to try and move it up again so we can see just the dial right there. This is a work of art that the individually applied numerals, now you can see the movement, the blued hands, and there's that skeletonized movement right there. They even skeletonized and engraved the rotor. And as Larry was telling you, these were all hand engraved, which really I find astonishing for a watch that we're selling at $179, that we have 3 value pays of $59 on. This is amazing.
I'll tell you, Jim, when you wear this watch, Jim, you're going to feel like $1 million. It doesn't feel like a $179 watch. It really doesn't. You feel like you're walking down the street wearing a $5,000 watch on your hand. It is class. It is style. If there's anybody out there right now watching the show that doesn't own a Stuhrling yet, this would be the perfect piece to introduce yourself to our brand, to our line, to get the feel for what we're all about. And as you've mentioned many times over, as watch collectors go, one of the things that you have to have is you do need to have a skeleton watch in your collection. But even if you already have a skeleton watch, here's a great opportunity to add another one for under $200.
Now, let's go over the colors again. Now, what you're seeing right here, the rose with the black, that's turned into my favorite. Now, here's a great thing I want to let you know about. A lot of gentlemen that I've talked to, a lot of collectors say, you know what, I love the way rose gold looks, but I cannot go anywhere and buy any jewelry to accompany this. I don't want this to be an excuse any longer. If you like the rose, get it and get it right now, and I'm going to tell you why. On my left hand, I'm wearing one of the prototype samples. I am having a custom ring made up for me for a very special event that we have coming up. And we're going to have one done in rose gold. It's going to be perfectly matched to this exact same tone. Now, the ring isn't ready. We're playing with a few different designs. I'm wearing one of them right now. I can tell you this, it will be very masculine, it'll be very beefy, and very bling-blingy. Gorgeous diamonds, but you're going to have an option in rose. So if that's the reason why you've been holding off, get one. Because I tell you right now, since I have come here, I have turned into a rose gold freak. It is a gorgeous, very warm, very inviting tone. It looks good against any skin color. That's a great shot, guys.
Great shot,
Thank you.
guys. Wow. Look at that.
Now you can see the inner workings of this watch and what makes it so beautiful. Let me grab my handy-dandy little pointer here. And what you're seeing, as you can see, the sweep hand is gently going around the dial. This is actually your mainspring right here. This is the power to the movement. Again, if you're new to the shows and you're new to into really good watches, this is a mechanical automatic watch. This means there's no battery. This is not a quartz watch. You never have anything to change. As long as you're wearing the watch, it's automatically going to stay wound. Now, what you're seeing right here, kind of moving back and forth, this is part of your balance assembly. There's a little wheel inside of here that's actually controlling the timing of how slowly this mainspring unwinds. This is what actually regulates your timekeeping. This is your pallet fork right here. This is what's controlling it and sending basically those impulses through the gear train to move the hands.
Wow.
All of this is controlling your watch. It's gears and it's springs, and it's all built in a fashion that it's not like, you buy a quartz watch, you pop a battery, and it magically works. This is artistry, folks. The dial work that you're seeing on here, the skeletonization of this movement, you should not expect it for the price that you're seeing right there of $179. This is a steal among steals. Now,
I ran into Charles Winston in the hall.
42 millimeters in case diameter, by the way.
I ran into Charles Winston in the hall just before we were coming on.
Isn't he a great guy?
He's a great guy. And he said to me, he said, remember, there's no present like the time. Okay?
That's a new tagline for you.
Yeah, there's no present like the time. And I said, you don't mind if I steal that, do you? I'm going to use it on the show. And he says he's used it numerous times. But nevertheless, the point is, it's a great gift, great present at $179 to give an automatic skeleton watch. It's just gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. I happen to favor the rose tone with the silver tone dial myself.
We haven't even showed that yet. We should pan over to that and show that, because it's another. very classy one. And, you know, I kind of feel silly now because, again, about almost 2 months ago, you had sent me those two for samples, and I foolishly handed them right back to you. Now I kind of wish I had it, because that is a very, folks, I'm telling you, when you get it on your wrist, again, it's a full-size 42 millimeters. When you get this on your wrist, you're going to be blown away. And if you've never owned a skeletonized watch, look, I mean, you get a chance to see all of the inner workings of this movement. I'll go ahead and flip this one over.
You know, Jim, there's skeleton watches, and then again, there's skeleton watches. Not only is it, you know, see through the dial, but if you look through the case back, you can see the rotor is skeletonized.
Beautifully done, by the way. Beautifully engraved, too.
I mean, all the movements have been cut open, skeletonized, hand engraved. I mean, this really is a conversation piece. It's just gorgeous for the money. Again, great sense of style to this watch. When you wear it, you're going to feel like $1 million. This really dresses up the man. It really does.
You know, I'm really glad that you're here tonight, because I have a phenomenal viewer, and he and I email back and forth, must be 6-7 times a week. And I'll say his first name because I can get away with that. His name is Larry as well. And he loves when you come out here. He just thinks you're great, you're vivacious. I don't know if you can use vivacious for a guy. And
really?
You're full of energy.
Really?
He loves the way that you come across out here. And I'm telling, and Larry, I'm speaking to you right now. If you have ever trusted what I say, and what Larry Magen here says, pick this up for yourself, because this, it is just, and I know he owns a lot of Stuhrling watches as well. This is a flat-out cool watch, and I guarantee now when we get off of here and I go check my email, there's going to be, well, I cannot believe you brought me up on your show.
Well, Larry, thank
I appreciate you.
Thank you for the compliments out there, Larry. You know, I don't think you've given him my email address yet, because I would remember if I got an email like that. But send me an email. Thank you, Larry.
You won't miss his emails, because he's as much entertaining as you are.
I enjoy getting the emails. I don't know about you, but I really do enjoy it, you know.
And by the way, again, for those of you that don't know, I'm going to have a little graphic that is made up, and it's not done yet. My email address is jskelton@shopnbc.com. If you have any questions, any comments, or anything that you would like passed on to Larry or anybody else, any one of our other guests, feel free to email me, and I get back to every single solitary email that's sent to me. I love talking with everybody. And as far as this watch goes, I have probably gotten more emails on this one watch than any other Stuhrling. You
know, one other thing we should point out too, you see the case design, of course, is a step case, but which is really a nice design feature, but also the band. It's a genuine leather band with a lizard finish. So it gives you a little different look to it.
It definitely does.
It's not your typical watch band that you see, you know, on so many of your models. So
let's do one of those really sick close-up shots again, so we can show that the amazing dial work. If we could kind of come into here, I'll try and get it at the right angle so we have a really nice.
And you know, it's a good size for a lady too, Jim. It's not too large, you know, and especially with that step case design, I think it is a good design. A lady could wear that as well, Jim.
Well, we have some phenomenal camera work here tonight. Thank you guys very, very much. And there you can see the artistry that is Stuhrling. You're getting their phenomenal, their famous dials. You're getting a beautifully engraved and skeletonized movement. You know, there's nothing about this watch that doesn't, you know, scream detail, detail, detail. And as you're looking at this when you're wearing it, people are going to be admiring this from a distance, and they're going to come, they're going to grab your wrist and go, what is that? So if you like to have a watch that's a conversation piece, and as you can see, I'm kind of moving my little pointer back here.
You can see right through it. And you know, what I happen to like about this, and I guess everybody has their own likes and dislikes. I mean, most of our watches have a day or a date or something like that, extra complications. This is a simple three-hand movement. You don't really need any extra complications with this, with a skeleton watch. You don't want to overdo it, you know, putting in extra complications. A simple three-hand movement, skeletonized, hand engraved. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous, and you'll feel like $1 million when you wear it, really.
And you're going to feel like a very, very smart person, because you've got a phenomenal value. It's $179. We are going to go ahead and wrap it up for this. 3 value pays of $59, J138898, as we move off of this and go into our next exciting item. And by the way, sold out on that. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I knew that wasn't going to last. We only had, I don't know what we had on that, maybe 50 pieces on that silver tone dial, and that was it. This one's still available, huh?
Unbelievable. You know what,
folks? Don't miss this one. $79. This is a markdown special airing for this show. This is a super piece, Jim. You have to, I guess you have to wear this piece. It's got the covered crown. It is a chronograph. As you can see right there, it's got the unique case design. And you know, when you're looking to add pieces to your collection, you're always looking for something a little bit different. Okay, this is different. I haven't seen too many case designs like this. I haven't seen any case designs like this. Very unusual. $79. What more do you need to say about that? The nubuck strap gives it a little extra. Is that mine or yours?
No, this is the one we're going to be selling.
No, the one
next.
you're putting on your wrist.
Yeah, we're going to be selling this next.
Wait, let me check my pocket. Did you pick
133
Did you pick my pocket? Wait.
This is the automatic time zone watch with the rotating sub-dial there with your secondary time zone for $229.98. You got sapphire crystals front and back, a 40-millimeter case diameter, and that great rubberized strap. If you've never owned a rubberized strap watch, make this your first because they are so incredibly comfortable. They really are. J132242, and I'm going to readjust this one because I made it a little bit too tight.
I saw you putting on that model, and of course that's one of my favorite watches. That's what I wore in.
It's the one that you wear when you're dressed up.
Yeah, it's true. I went to my friend's Don. I went to Don's bar mitzvah, his son's bar mitzvah in Los Angeles this past weekend. I flew out there for the party. It was fantastic. Zach did a great job. Congratulations to Zach. And this is the watch that I wore to the party. And I got so many compliments on it.
As well you should have. Take a look at this, folks. Look at it on my wrist.
And I saw you putting it on. I said, wait a minute, that's my watch.
This is absolutely astounding. This is the rose gold version, or rose tone version. Take a look at the case design, and we're going to take you on a quick tour of it, and then I'm going to take it off and flip it around and smack it around and show you everything. Look at that astounding dial, folks.
Wow. And
this is gorgeous. And as far as we're talking about the case design, look at the lugs. Yeah. This is where this watch excels. It's in those very fine details, the design work, the dial work, and of course the complications. Now you're running on a 23-jewel automatic movement, and you have your day aperture and the date aperture as well.
You know, Jim, this case design was inspired by Parmigiani. Our watch looks completely different than theirs, of course, but the case design itself, the actual case, it's gorgeous. You know, on the way flying in here today to Minneapolis, at the airport, I picked up an LA Confidential, had a big picture of Jamie Foxx on the cover, and was going through that on the plane, and there's a big full-page ad for the Parmigiani, and it's got this case design, big, full. Of course, the Parmigiani is going to sell for several $1,000s. But the case design was inspired. This is a piece that, I mean, if you really, you know, want to impress people, if you really want to have a sense of style, this does it. You show this watch to your friends, just check out their reaction on this one.
I'm going to go ahead and move this just a wee little bit. Now, again, don't be on the fence about rose, because if you've never owned rose, I've got to tell you, it is absolutely stunning. It is very warm. It doesn't matter what your skin tone is, it just seems to fit in. It's gorgeous. Now, this piece right here is $249.99. We have very limited quantities. We're looking at the brown, which is the rose, is going to sell out first. But let me also show you the silver tone and black. Now, this has the blued numerals as well as the blued hands, which I'm a sucker for blued. I just think it's gorgeous. And you have a very particular color blue that you don't see everywhere else. It's
very steely.
Yeah, actually, you know, that's a great way to describe it.
It's like a steel blue.
Let me go ahead and show you the backside as well. Now, there again is that phenomenal case design that I was telling you about. Curved case back, engraved case back, decorated automatic movement. You guys are really stepping up as far as the decoration on the movements. I think it's done so beautifully.
Yeah, now, let me tell you, Jim, this is not a watch that you'd want to wear if you were going to go to your boss and ask him for a raise, okay?
No, it looks like you're making enough money.
Yeah,
on
because he'd think this guy already has too much money. But the dial work, you know, we haven't said anything on this show about it. We might as well say a little bit about it. This dial was done by vintage German machinery in our factory. Those dials are stamped 40 to 50 times per dial.
My goodness.
We have to waste about 2 dials for every dial that ultimately does make it into a watch. That's a lot of work. Very high yield loss ratio. They're stamped in brass and then dipped. It's a very labor-intensive type of thing to get that effect on the dial. And the other thing, we talked about it on the last show with this watch, is the date indicator. I call it a roulette style because you have the alternating black and white with the numerals in between. So when the date changes, then you would have, right now we're showing with the black number in between, the different color is always the date of the month. So it's very unique, and at this price, I mean, I hate to keep saying it, but this is not a $249 watch, folks. It really isn't. And it's not even a $550 retail watch. It's really much higher than that. This is solid stainless steel. On the rose gold, it's dipped 10 microns thick rose gold.
Which is actually, that's above most industry standards. And when you look at only your highest end manufacturers, and I'm going to say the name because I'm not comparing the quality of the watch or the look or anything else. Movado, when they do any of their plated watches, those are all to 10 microns. And I tell you right now, you will not find a Movado gold-plated at anywhere near even the $550 retail, but certainly not near $249. And you're getting that type of strength and longevity from the gold process that you would just like out of one of their watches.
That comes from the what I would call the Swiss supervision of our factory, the George von Berg, the 10 microns thick. That's one of those Swiss standards that he lives up to.
George von Berg, he's a, I want to say, fourth generation watchmaker, am I correct?
Fourth generation. He moved his entire factory to the Far East out of Switzerland, as you will probably see a mass exodus of many of the smaller independent watch manufacturers.
It's too expensive to manufacture.
Exactly. You know, you have to pay for the elitism of the Swiss-made label.
And we're not elitists around here. We're very down to earth. We want good watches for the best price available. And you know what? When you're getting this kind of quality, and for those of you that own Stuhrling, you already know the fit and finish. These will not only look and feel, but also perform like a watch that's several times at their retail value that we have here. If this watch does not play off like a several $1,000 watch when you have it, send it back.
I'm telling you, Jim, if you want to look like you have a great sense of style, wear this watch and you'll not only look like...
I do have a great sense of style there, buddy.
Wear this watch and you'll not only look like you have style, but you'll reek of style. It's amazing how a watch like this can just take over your personality, Jim. It really is.
I certainly don't need anything taken over my personality because I don't have nearly enough personality.
I mean, wear this watch with a $400 suit and it'll make it look like a $10,000 suit.
There you go. That's a good way of adding to it. Now, J138896, the brown is nearly sold out now. We are left with only basically 2 dozen left of the brown. My goodness. This black with the silver tone dial will be the next to go because it's the only one left. $249.99, and you've got 3 value pays of $83. Again, this is a 44mm case diameter, very large, and I'll show it to you once again on my wrist so you can get a good feel for this watch. I think, let's go ahead and pull back just a hair so we can actually see how it looks like, how it looks on my arm. This is a phenomenal, beautiful timepiece.
It really is, and folks, if you don't already own this piece, please do yourself a favor, jump on it, get it, because this one says Stuhrling like just about any other watch we have in our collection. We're very, very proud of this piece. We're extremely proud, and at the price point, $249, it's fabulous. We should have started this one off at $349, but we came in again in that January theme, and now we're stuck at it. So,
well, we certainly don't want to put out stuff at one price and then raise it up and then up and down and up and down, because then it's just a roller coaster and it confuses people. So it's a good thing that you guys stuck with what you got. You know what? It's a phenomenal deal for everybody out there.
If you try this watch, you will not be sending it back. You will keep it. And, you know, usually in the past, I have always gone for the blacks, the black watches, the black bands. I like a black face and all that kind of stuff, the black dials and what have you. When I saw this one, this was really, truly one of the first pieces I've ever tried where I went to the brown. And, of course, now I'm pitching the brown, but, you know, we're practically sold out of the brown anyway. But I tried the brown, and I love it. And I actually did have to go out and buy certain things to wear with it. You know, when I used to sell jewelry, Jim, sometimes I would show orange sapphires. I sold very high-end jewelry in my jewelry business, and I love orange sapphires. And ladies would always say, I have nothing to wear with orange. It looks gorgeous, but I have nothing to wear. I would say, hey, for a stone like this, go out and buy something. Same thing with this brown. If you don't have something to wear with the rose gold, hey, well, go out and buy something for it, because for this kind of value, for this kind of money, it pays, and it's gorgeous, and it will look good on you, and it will get a lot of compliments. It really will. And just wait till you see the Oscars on Sunday night. You will see at least 50% of the ladies are going to be wearing brown at the Oscars.
You know, brown is the new black. That's the best way to put it. It is a very popular color. I tell you right now, I'm seeing a huge reaction from gentlemen especially in the rose gold. And you know, I'm kind of harping on the rose gold for a reason, because I've always been intrigued by it, never did it. And the more I'm around it, doing these shows and seeing it, almost every show there's something in rose. It is, I have a particular fondness for it now that I cannot let go of. And I find myself looking at watches more in rose than in any other color. I think it's a gorgeous, it's a very luxurious, rich look.
Well, you know, rose gold has been big in Europe for many years. In Italy and France, you know, rose gold has been big for a long time. I think the United States is just now catching up. I really do.
Well, we're kind of slow on the uptake around here.
You know, I don't know if we have time, Jim, but is there any way to rotate that date dial just to show them? I know, are we off of this one, or are we going on to the next one?
I can show it, yeah, we can take a moment on it. Let me just get the hands out of the way here. Set it to about 245, and
we had that nice tight shot a moment ago. Everybody jump on this one at $250. You will love it.
It's three. Also, the great thing is that we're able to break things up. And some places don't have the ability to do this, to do the value pay. Sometimes you call in, you pay full price, which I don't know how you can ask somebody to do that. We give you the great value pays.
I almost hate you guys for that. You know why?
Because you keep buying stuff.
I do. What, did you check my account lately? I've been buying stuff from ShopNBC, like TVs and things like this, because, you know, the value pays.
Don't run your movement backwards like I just did, folks, because that can destroy your movement.
Thank you for doing that, Jim. You see how when the date changes, the color in the middle, I call it a roulette style. I made that up, but a roulette style date wheel, because you know how in the roulette you got, you know, red and black? Here you have the black and white, and now there's the 25th, and you're going to roll it around, and so the off color in the middle, and that's a very unusual date, and that's all you're looking for. You're looking for different things to add to your collection, new things that are different.
You know what I just realized? You guys actually have a hacking feature in your movements here as well. For those of you that are fanatics about always making sure your mechanicals and automatics are perfectly set to the right time, you're setting to the atomic clock and things like that, it's important to have a watch that has a hacking feature. All that means is when you pull out the crown, the sweep second hand will stop. So you can stop it, you know, wherever you want. And when you're timing and it comes across the right time, then all you need to do is just push in the crown, and the sweep hand begins to run again. That is a great feature that, yes, a lot of movements have, but I'm seeing more and more frequently now, a lot of movements don't. So it's a great feature. If you're crazy like I am, I make sure every day all my watches are corrected to the atomic clock. Not every day, but every couple of days. And certainly if I'm going to wear it, it's got to be set to the atomic clock every day that I wear it. And this makes it's a convenience feature that makes it much more easy. It actually stops your balance from running. So you can stop the movement, print it the exact time that you need it to, sync it up, and bam, start it right away.
Jim, I am pleading with everybody to jump on this watch here, because I know that when they get it, they're going to be Stuhrling.
Well, if you want, we can get up on the table.
They're going to be Stuhrling fans for life with this one, because it's the kind of watch that gets noticed from across the street. It's big, it's large, it's got that super expensive look. I'm pleading with everybody out there, if you don't already own this one, get it. And if you own one of them, maybe get another one for a gift, because
the brown, by the way, folks, the brown on the screen right now, the rose and brown, I am down to a dozen. You do need to call in quickly and get this on your wrist. That rose is just taking off.
Yeah, the rose gold, and like I said, this is one of the first pieces I've ever bought in brown. I've usually never worn brown. Now all of a sudden I'm going towards those earth tones now. But again, even we still have a good quantity on the black left too, and that's your favorite, I know that. But I want everybody to get this one, because I know if they do, they're going to become Stuhrling fans and raving fans at that.
You guys have a huge fan base. You really do.
You know, I've been getting these emails, Jim, and what is amazing to me is the fans, the collectors that write in, they say, well, I own 10 Stuhrlings, I own 25 Stuhrlings, I own 17 Stuhrlings, you know, this kind of thing, and I just love them, and it's great to get those kind of emails. I do answer them, and I love it, and I've got some people we're writing back and forth now. It's great.
Now, don't forget about this silver tone. In my opinion, silver tone has always been, will always be the most versatile. You can wear it dressed up or dressed down. You know, the rose is definitely more of a dressy look. Gold always will be. If you're the kind of person that'll go into the office in a suit and then go out later on that evening in a nice pair of jeans and say a polo shirt or whatnot, you're still kind of dressed up, but you're more casual, this is the watch. This is the color selection that you want to make. And this is also the best way. This is the only way that you're going to get those blued numerals in hands as well.
And you know, Jim, what we did here, this is very collectible as well. we made a very limited production. There's only these two colors, these two styles. That's it. We made 500 of each. And we're
really?
That's it.
Well,
that's
you should let me know these things so I can start telling people.
Well, they're not limited edition. We didn't number them, okay?
So just limited production.
Some people would actually say it's limited edition. Some companies do that kind of thing. To me, if it's not numbered on the case or somewhere like that, it's limited production. But the point is, if we come back now, because this was a very popular seller.
5 left of the brown, by the way.
5 left of the brown, and here we go. We're off to the races. But listen, if we bring it back, we are going to, we'll do something different to make it different so as to not diminish the collectible value of the piece. So it's not a piece that you're going to see everybody and their brother and sister wearing all over the place. It's very unique, and you'll get a lot of compliments on it.
Absolutely. You know what? I've gotten a lot of compliments on my Stuhrling. I think it's great. Here's that beautiful decorated movement. Now, I can't really call it Côte de Genève because it's not a Swiss movement, and the work wasn't done in Switzerland, but it has a Côte de Genève-like ornamentation to the movement decoration. It's just gorgeous. Here, there you have the signed engraved rotor, and you see all of that work gone all the way through the movement. There's the rotor, the top plate, just beautifully done. You can see the ruby jewel in the balance assembly right here. This is actually part of your shock protection unit right here.
You know, if you bought the brown one, call back in and get a black one too. You wear the brown one with certain suits, you wear the black one with other suits. I mean, it depends. I mean, it depends.
Or wear one on each wrist.
Well, let's not go crazy, all right? Come on now. Be realistic, will you? No, but seriously, you know, for that kind of money, that kind of price, it is a watch that gets a lot of compliments. And, you know, I want to point out, too, this is solid stainless steel. This is not hollow. This is not tinny. This is what they call the 316L surgical steel. I don't like to always repeat that because it sounds like you know, you're bragging or something like that, but it is true. It's solid stainless steel. It's a very chunky, heavy piece. It's solid. It doesn't feel, it feels very expensive on your wrist. It feels every bit like a $5,000 plus watch.
There's those blue numerals. I love the look of a silver tone dial with blue numerals. There's something about it that just, I don't know, just takes my breath away.
And, as you know, Jim, these are not just printed on the dial. Okay.
These are all individually applied numerals. We need a shot of that as well.
Yeah, these are individually applied numerals. The quality, the workmanship, the artisanship, everything about it is up to the Swiss standards, Swiss technology, Swiss supervision. You've got the luminous hands. Ladies and gentlemen, please step up and get the black with the silver dial.
And you'll notice when you see these super tight close-up shots that our camera crew here does so beautifully, you don't see a flaw anywhere in any of these watches. And these are our samples that, you know, that we kind of roughhouse every now and then. Folks, the fit and finish, the quality of Stuhrling, you can see all the way throughout on these watches.
You know, Jim, I've worked at other home shopping stations, as you know, and you've told me before, nobody beats the production values of ShopNBC. You are so right. These guys, great shot in the studio, guys. That's fantastic. You know, it's not easy to shoot jewelry. It's not easy to shoot watches and get these kind of tight close-ups. And here at ShopNBC, we almost take them for granted. But that's just great camera work right there.
And they're very tolerant of me the way I always move watches around. They have to keep refocusing. But there you go, folks. Here's your last look at this. We are going to move on to that phenomenal chronograph because, you know, Larry and I are kind of chomping at the bit to get to that because we love that new chronograph. Here you go. Here's your final look at this. And the brown has completely sold out. You are left with the black and silver tone, which is what you see right here on your screen.
I can't believe the brown sold out. I mean, I can believe it, but I wouldn't think that it would have gone before the black. Everybody buys
silver
black.
Tone goes, yeah.
The black and silver tone is always the first to go. I'm glad the brown went because that's what I picked and that's what I wear, but 500 of each, and now there's no more browns left, and I think the blacks were getting down there, folks, so jump on this one. Everybody should have this piece.
When it comes to this one, J138896, as Henry Ford liked to say, you can have any color you'd like, as long as it's black.
You know, Jim, last thing I'm going to say on this piece, whenever you want to make a good impression for whatever reason, whether it's for business or just out with your friends, that's a watch that's going to do the job right there.
And this is your final look at this J132750. This is, the best way to put it, it's a $79 automatic. How can you go wrong with that? Two value pays of $39.99.
This was the one I was referring to, for an automatic for $79. It's unheard of. Everybody should get one of those, whether you want it or not. Just get it.
And this, the Skelton automatic, folks, the black and rose tone, if you want the watch that Larry named after me, he's just pulling my leg, folks. Believe
no,
me.
To me, that's,
There's
I
six
call
left
it,
of that one.
I call it the Jim Skelton. And I like the rose tone with the silver tone dial.
And also still available, J133242. This has that rotating secondary time zone that it makes you flip because there's a lot going on in a watch like this, and it still has that great, rugged, everyday kind of look to it. Folks, sapphire crystals front and back, 40mm case diameter, and your first value pay of $76. And we're not going to have a chance to get to this, and I wish we could, but we're so low in quantity, I don't think it really matters. That champagne and green, I have 10 left now. This is the big date, off-center switch, seconds hand at the 6 o'clock position.
Very few of these left. If you've already got an invoice open, call up and add this to your invoice for $99. We're down to the last few handful of these of this particular piece here. And the shark skin strap alone makes this a super value right there. And here's that second time zone watch, Jim, that you like so much, and I love it as well. Now, by the way, on that one here, this is the second time zone watch. This one is a movement. If we get a chance to get into this maybe in the second hour, I'd like to show this piece because that movement is something that's gone forever. This is the last of the Mohicans right here. Once this is gone, that's it. We're not bringing that movement back, and that is our own movement.
J132906. This is the Lexus automatic with the secondary time zone. And like I said, I have one of those myself. The one that's left right here is the rose tone, and that's it. They're going to be gone and never to be seen again. So call in quickly on that. But now we're going to get to one. A buddy of mine just got this, and he emailed me, I don't know, I guess about 3 or 4 days ago. He's a huge watch collector, and I got to tell you, the brands that he owns would just make your jaw drop. Mm-hmm. He got this, and he got the black dial.
That's what
and he said, you know what? He goes, this is probably the most beautiful dial Stuhrling has ever made. The fit and finish is extraordinary. Mm-hmm. He goes, I love this watch, and it was an absolute steal for the money that I paid. And you know what? I tend to agree with him. You look at this. First of all, this is the first time, this movement, I should say, I want to clarify, this movement is the first time we've ever seen a 1/10 of a second chronograph, a self-correcting big date, and a day of the week aperture all in one movement. It has never been done before. And here you have it, right here, all in one watch. This is a phenomenal. This is a Swiss Ronda 50/50C movement. Right. And I mean, it's gonna blow you away. I'll go ahead and start that chronograph.
Right, it's a 4-hand chrono, 7-hand total, but 4-hand chrono, you've got tenths of a second, seconds, minutes, and hours on this chronograph.
Yeah, this will register up to 12 hours. There's a second hand hidden behind this one here.
Right, we would have had to start it before the show to be able to show the hand split. But nevertheless, Jim, you're right. This is the first movement in the world to combine a day and date with a chronograph. It's fabulous. You know what I call this watch? I have a nickname for it.
Uh-oh, you have a nickname for all the watches.
Well, I'm starting, right now, my whole mode of mine, the Oscars are coming up. That's a big thing. I'm from L.A. Maybe not everybody's into the Oscars all around the country, but I love it. I go to as many movies as possible. This is my version of The Aviator, okay? The Aviator. And by the way, I hope that wins Best Picture of the Year. Anyway.
Yeah, I love what Larry's talking about is right here, the designs around the registers, this extra plate that's been added over the dial. It has a phenomenal look to it.
As you know, Jim, I wear this watch, and I've been wearing it now. It's become my everyday watch, and you can wear it dressed up with suits. You can wear it with jeans. It goes with everything from jeans to a tuxedo, really. I think the watch that you're showing right now on the monitor actually shows the dial work better than the black one, although I do wear the black. It's a little dressier, but nevertheless, this piece is phenomenal. It's just phenomenal.
You know what else is phenomenal?
What's that?
The fact that we only have about 24 of any of these choices.
Really? Yeah, well, they're going. I'll tell you, as far as a chronograph watch goes, it's a 4-hand chrono, so you can get down to tenths of a second. You know, I read somewhere, I was doing some research, that chronographs really came into popularity just after the turn of the century, maybe around the 20s, the 1920s and so forth, with horse racing.
Really?
Did you hear anything about that?
I did not hear anything about that.
I was doing some research on the internet and so forth, and I found this article, and I should have printed it out and brought it, but it was chronograph watches was kind of a symbol of, I go to the horse races. I go to the races, and they were timing them at the quarter pole. And
well, how hoity-toity is that?
Yeah, exactly. You know, now, you can time your kids. I'm timing trains and so forth. But we have a lot of chronographs in our collection. But as far as precision, as far as accuracy, as far as design, as far as, everything in the book, this one has everything in the book.
And that's absolutely true. You've got, the case is solid 316L stainless steel. You've got a genuine leather strap that's beautifully done in an alligator fashion. You have one of the most extraordinary dials Stuhrling has ever created, and they're famous for their dials. You have a 1/10 of a second chronograph that will register up to 12 hours. You have a self-correcting big date at the 6 o'clock position. Actually, while we have this tight shot here, if we can kind of, guys, if we can move down to the 6 o'clock position very quickly, I will demonstrate why we're talking about big date, the self-correcting big date. You have two individual discs that give you this readout. Now, what that normally does on a regular big date is it'll go from 29 to 30, 31, then it'll go 32, 33, 34, and you have to manually take it to 01. This watch, however, will automatically go from 31 to 01, all on its own. You do not need to do anything. You have a very precise Swiss movement inside, and you've also got, on top of all this, you're getting a day of the week aperture in the center of the dial, and I'm a very practical kind of guy. I love practical complications. When I look at my watch, to me, what I want to see is the time of the day, the date, and the day. If it had nothing else on there, a chronograph is nice, moon phases are nice, but I tell you, the date and the day are the most practical complications, and here you have it all in one, and on top of that, a 1/10 of a second chronograph.
Well, this movement, as you pointed out, is the Ronda 5050C, and you know, from Switzerland. And this movement has really made history. I mean, it is the only movement in the world, just to repeat, it is the only movement in the world to combine a day and big date with a chronograph.
Now, we only have about a minute or so left here. We want to make sure we get to see the other choice here. This is the all black. This is the black strap, black dial on the silver tone case. This is the one that Larry wears every day. And I got to tell you, you cannot make a bad choice on these watches. You have a beautiful, very impressive watch. And I guarantee you, I want you to go, when you get your watch, by the way, the Stuhrling presentation is phenomenal. When you open this watch up and you get it home, I want you to go out, go to your favorite watch haunt. We all have them. We all have a particular store we like to go to where the staff doesn't boot us out for always coming in and looking and not buying anything, because we could buy them cheaper at ShopNBC.
Can we see the case design on the side? I mean,
yeah, you have the beautiful engraving. Go in there, go into the nicest shop, and show this to the people that work there, and have them tell you what they would believe that this watch would retail for. And I guarantee you will hear nothing less than $1,000. There's no way possible. When you look at the watch, the presence of this. Now, I know we have to end this hour. We have to wrap it up.
I'm going to end the hour with one comment.
Okay.
Clothing dresses up the person, but the watch defines who you really are.
Well, there you go. I'd never really thought of it that way.
That's it. That's right.
I guess I'm a multiple personality kind of guy.
If you don't wear watches, you might want to start, because once you do, it just changes your whole personality, and it should reflect your personality.
Absolutely. Now, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We're going to come back in about 2 minutes. Don't forget about today's Our Top Value, which is, you know what? It's Chanois. I'm sorry, I could not pronounce that. Hydro Renewal Collection, a 4-piece luxury European skincare kit. See 36010. Today's special price, $99. Make Our Top Value your top value today.
Exercise is the key to staying healthy. Do something for yourself and get fit on ShopNBC with this unprecedented value. The hottest technology combined with the convenience of a home gym is the easiest way to an active lifestyle. Make Our Top Value your top value on ShopNBC. Does your jewelry box look like this? Rethink and refresh your jewelry wardrobe with classic creations from Charles Winston. From simple elegance to opulent luxury, every piece in this collection conveys style and glamour. And best of all, it's affordable. Featuring some of the finest cubic zirconia in the world, you can count on Charles Winston for the highest quality at the lowest prices. The Charles Winston Collection, here on ShopNBC. Every home should be an oasis, a retreat from the outside world. Open your senses to the soothing sounds of water, A peaceful reminder of the outdoors brought inside to inspire relaxation. These lovely indoor fountains complement any decor and are a simple addition that can change the feeling of your home. It's time to create your own oasis. Find furnishings here on ShopNBC. Think spring, think silver. One of the hottest looks in jewelry today is silver, and La Belle V Silver has what you're looking for. Well-designed, clean lines accented with colorful gems create a youthful fashion statement. It's comfortable jewelry that's right for everyone, every day. So add a little color to your life. La Belle V Silver, here on ShopNBC.
Yeah, that's me. I got to do something to keep myself awake at this time of night. I wish everybody that was out there could talk back to me because I'd have a lot more going on because I know there's a lot of you that stay up late. Thank you for joining me. My name is Jim Skelton. I'm going to be here with you for one more great hour of Stuhrling time, Stuhrling original time. We can kind of mix it all together right there. Anyway, Larry Magen is sitting right over here mocking me as we speak. I'm going to tell you about a couple of shows that are coming up a little bit later on. First of which being Lights Out, which right there you have those great lamps. This is going to be tomorrow, Friday the 25th at 3 a.m. with Mr. Jim Fisher. And he's going to let you know all about these fine lamps that you see on your screen right there. And also, we're going from fine lamps to fine furnishings Thursday, March the 3rd at 6 p.m. Eastern. And what you're going to be seeing are a very interesting collection of cuckoo clocks. If you have never owned a cuckoo clock, like me, I've never owned a cuckoo clock. I just like saying cuckoo clock as many times as I possibly can in this 30 seconds that I'm allotted. Right here. Maybe I'll start collecting them right here and drive everybody I know absolutely bonkers. Because what I would do is I would set them all off by about a minute apiece so that all throughout the day I'd have one cuckoo going off after another, after another, after another. So join in the fun and merriment and pick up 24 of those for yourself and do the same thing. Anyway, we're going to get into this hour's preview and show you some of our great watches. We have no cuckoo watches, and Larry, could you get on that as quickly as possible because we're going to have a request for a cuckoo watch.
Cuckoo repeater.
A cuckoo repeater. There you go. You bring that one up at Basel. Anyway, J120876. We saw this briefly last hour. You know what? It's a phenomenal markdown, folks. It's $79.98, ladies only version. Now, this has the rubberized strap with leather over it and contrast stitching with the dual deploying clasp. And it has the big date complication at the 3 o'clock position. Again, ladies only, 2 value pays of $39.99. The rose tone has now sold out, so please call in quickly. Also, J132749, sapphire crystals front and back, automatic movement with day and date. 40mm case diameter and a phenomenally comfortable rubberized strap. I want you to pay attention here, folks. It's $129. If you were able to see this watch live, I tell you right now, TV does not do it justice. If you were able to see this watch live, you would go bonkers if it was sitting in a store display case at $129. Great dial design, all the way around, phenomenal watch. First value pay of $43 brings it home. Also, J133335. This is another great quartz chronograph. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This has the Swiss chronograph movement. Am I correct? Yes? No? We'll take a look at that. We'll get back to you on it. I do believe this is a Swiss at a G15, judging by the calendar position on there. $249.99. 3 value pays of $83.33. And yes, it is. I was correct. See, aren't you glad you got me here? I don't know. $199 is the brand new price, and 3 value pays of $66. J133335. Moving on. By the way, if you want that silver tone red, you need to be on the phone line right now or you're just not going to get it. Now this one, J132913, has been a runaway leader. Now this is a 44mm case diameter when you count in the crown and the pushers on here. You've got a sapphire crystal. You have a Swiss out of G15 chronograph movement once again, and a beautifully patterned dial, but also look at the pattern running through the center links of the case. $249.99, 3 value pays of $83 for J132913. The green, by the way, is the most limited on that one as well. J138785, Larry, I know, loves this watch. Sapphire crystals front and back, automatic movement. This is a true regulator with an animated AM/PM indicator, and you've also got a calendar at the 6 o'clock position. Folks, this watch has everything, including an extreme complication and another one of those phenomenal dials. $349.96, 4 value pays of $87. And J121192, this is going to be, yeah, you know what? Pay attention to that little tiny blue box on your screen. You see where it says $249.98? Keep watching. Ken's going to hit that big red button, and it's going to go to $79. If this doesn't get you on the phone, I don't know what it will. Now, this is an automatic movement, day and date, 316L stainless steel, rubberized strap, and 2 value pays of $39.99. This is just phenomenal. It's 100 meters water resistant, and a sapphire crystal. White and blue are all that's remaining. And I tell you right now, that blue is going to sell out in the preview. J121192. That is an amazing markdown. It really is. See, I promised you folks at home some great deals, and did I come through? Yes, indeed I did. You can thank me later. J138796. This is the multifunction automatic skeleton. Now, here we have the full counter. You have your day of the week, the date, the GMT hand, and what do we have as the fourth one on there? I wish I could see it from here. Day. Oh, we also have the month on there as well. $199.99, or excuse me, 98 cents. You saved a penny right there. 3 value pays of $66. And you know what? I have a dozen of each. Call in now. Every time we air these, they sell out. And that may be the last time that we see these. Now, I want to show this to you live just for a couple of seconds because I want to get you on the phone quickly for this J132903. For $249, you're getting a Swiss movement, and I'm going to go ahead and show it to you on the black dial here. This is an analog and digital watch, multifunction. You can change the way the calendar is set up. You also have a chronograph. Let me go ahead and get to the chronograph here. This is one of the. Is this the alarm?
That's the alarm.
This is the alarm. Here is your chronograph, and you also have a countdown timer as well. All this, now you also have a simplified date, which Larry just showed to me a few minutes ago, which I think is a great.
Hit the first button at the top.
Well, we hit the top button here, and you can also turn it off where you just have your analog display. This is an ingenious timepiece, and you're getting this for your first value pay of $83. We are going to get into to great detail on this watch. We're both very, very excited to show this watch. 3 value pays of $83. And the gentleman sitting here that is making all of these watches possible to us on this network, Mr. Larry Magen. How are you, sir?
Hey, Jim. Hey,
another great hour.
It's a great night. The first hour was fabulous. Thank you, everybody, for responding to that first hour. And let's get into some more great discounts, some great value here from Stuhrling.
Sometimes you just got to take a sip of water. I get so excited sometimes when we see these watches. And when you see a watch like this one, with the multi-functions on there, I'm a practical kind of guy. I want as much stuff on my watch as I can get that's useful. And
well,
right there,
you know, Jim, during the preview, you said real quickly, let me show you something. And I was thinking to myself quickly, you could do literally a whole hour just explaining that Anadigi watch. It's that complicated. If you want some fun, folks, buy that watch, and we're going to get into it. We'll talk about it later. Let's go ahead.
Now, this one here, folks, it's a huge markdown. It's $79. We got 2 value pays of $39. This is a brand new price for the remaining quantity. When these are gone, they will not be brought back. J120876. As you can see right here, this is the ladies only version. We're going to give you 2 minutes or sell out because we don't have a lot left. We are going into single digits on everything. We have remaining black, silver tone, and gold tone. And that is it. Take a look at that dial.
Jim, just to repeat, in case people are just tuning in, didn't see the first hour when we showed this piece, this is a piece that was one of our early designs. We sold well over 2,000 pieces of this right here on ShopNBC a long time ago. We thought they were sold out. They sold at $199, and later they got marked down to $99. We sold over 2,000 pieces. We found a small pocket of these, not a lot, and we threw them out here tonight at only $79. So it's a great opportunity, and we're not bringing back this style. Once these are gone, that's it. They're gone forever. There's not very many left. But if you're watching the show now, if you don't have one, run to the phone and see if you can get one of these right away, because once they're gone, that's it. It's a bubble watch.
You do have a Swiss quartz movement,
yes,
and it's 100 meters water resistant with a screwed in case back as well.
And you know, the side of the case kind of has a scallop design. If you look at the side, it's a very nice design.
I love the dial. It almost looks like snake skin on the dial. It's and you guys may have a different affectation for it, but it looks like, you know, scales off a snake.
I think that's a good call, Jim. I was trying to figure out what kind of texturing that would be also. I think that's about as good a call as any I've heard. It does look like a snake.
I am fairly creative. So.
You've been practicing, Jim. You've been practicing. But look, you've got a big date. How many ladies' watches do you see with a big date? $79. It's a great gift. You've got the leather strap. It's all there. I mean, like I said, we sold over 2,000 of these watches, Jim.
It's all there, but I don't think you guys are all there for putting a price like $79
well,
on
there weren't that many. We found a little box of these.
I love the fact you guys just find boxes. I wish I could go somewhere and just find boxes of watches.
Well, you know,
somewhere.
we moved our offices, and we have a storage facility out in New Jersey, and a lot of stuff went to New Jersey, a lot of stuff went to the office in Brooklyn, and there was a box of watches, and in that box of watches, in that box was a box of watches, and so here they were. There weren't a lot. There was a little under 100 pieces, but, you know, we brought them out here.
Keep in mind, I'm glad that graphic came up. Payments as low as $10 a month on your ShopNBC credit card. I am going into single-digit quantities on the last three colors, black, silver tone, and gold tone. The rose tone has sold out. You're ordering by dial color.
It's a great sense of style, ladies. It really is.
It's a fun watch.
It really is. I mean, and it's a great one to buy if you're a guy, to, you know, save it as a gift for your daughter or your wife, you know. And whenever the time is right, whether it be Christmas or their birthday or whatever it is, for any occasion.
Ooh, hello. Also, J138785, we're going to be seeing this a little bit later. This is the automatic regulator. I feel kind of good now. And this has the animated AM/PM indicator and the calendar at the 6 o'clock position. If you're unfamiliar with a regulator, all it means is the time-telling hands, the hour, minute, and second, are done off of 3 separate areas of the movement, 3 separate hands in 3 separate locations. It's a phenomenal piece. If you never owned a regulator, that should be the very first thought on your mind. I need to get a regulator. Now, J121192, this is an automatic day and date sapphire crystal rubberized strap, and it's $79. How many times do you hear that?
Jim, this is one of the other models we found in that same box. This was also previously believed to have been sold out. We don't have big quantities on these right here. We threw them out here at this show.
Oh, blue's gone in the preview, by the way.
Okay.
White remaining only.
Okay, all we have left is the white. But folks, if you're watching the show right now, please run to the phone and grab those white ones. At $79, we just threw them out here on the show. We found a little bit of them, and it's a super value for an automatic watch. It's unbelievable. Just grab it.
Another really, really low quantity is going to be this guy right here, J138796. This is the automatic Skelton multifunction for $199 and 3 value pays of $66.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this watch before, and we don't have a lot of quantity on this. What do we have? Oh, not very many of those. So, I mean, do you want to go into this watch now, or?
Not right now. We will get into it in a few minutes, because right now, I got to show this, because this is a steal of a deal.
It sure is.
It really is.
Let's talk about it.
That's this guy right here. Now, first off, 40 millimeter case diameter, so you've got a great full-size timepiece. Great for gentlemen, and really, at 40 millimeters, it can also work for ladies as well. We're seeing a lot of ladies that are wearing watches up to about 42 millimeters. You've got a sapphire crystal, actually front and back, automatic timepiece. The great thing about this, again, it's that practicality. You have a day and a date all in one. And take a look at how this looks on the wrist. This is a super cool watch, and
Jim, the value here is through the roof. This whole show, we're giving incredible value through the roof. On this particular piece, you have an automatic watch for $129. We could stop right there. Automatic, $129, value enough. But let's go a little further on this. It is a solid stainless steel case. This is a very heavy piece. Wait till Jim shows you the back of this watch. It's got an exhibition case back, and just take a look at the movement. You can see the little steel blue screws in the movement, which is just awesome. This is a great conversation piece. This was never intended to be a watch for $129. And it's got the simple day and date.
I love it. Now, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and change this just a little bit because I want you to see this is not a defective watch. It's just getting ready to change over.
You know, by the way, on that last one, that $79 automatic.
There we go.
I forgot to tell you, it was a, if we get a chance to go back to it, although we only had a few white pieces left, that was a multilingual day of the week.
It was?
Yeah, in French.
Well, it takes a while to flip over, doesn't it?
English and French.
There we go.
Yeah. But going back to this watch here, great case design. This is a...
Love this crown,
yeah,
too.
this is one of those types of watches that you can wear as a sport watch. You could even wear it as a dress watch, although the rubber band does give it more of a sport look. If you want to put a leather band on it, it'll fit any, you know, what is it, a 20 millimeter? Put a 20 millimeter band on that and put a leather band, and it's a dress watch.
And there's that decorated movement that Larry was speaking of a little bit ago. Now, you'll notice also, and Stuhrling's been doing this a lot on their watches, they're following through their dial design into the engraving on the case back. There's, you see that pattern there? I'm going to very slowly flip this around for the
yeah, what we did on
ease
this one,
of our camera.
right? What we did, beautiful shot, Jim. What we did on this watch is the dial design. We pick it up with the decorated movement on a decorated case back, same decoration, and it also is in the strap as well. So you've got the strap, the dial, and the case back with the same design, the squares.
Beautifully done.
Yeah. So it picks it up. It's all throughout. Notice how you have a red second hand, the sweep second hand. Now, if you look real close around the luminous dots at the 5-minute markers.
That's right. They're all bordered in the same color.
Right. It's got a little red border around it to pick up the red sweep hand.
Beautiful. Again, it's even on the simple, what you would consider a simple, basic, casual model. You still put a world of detail into
Absolutely.
the watch.
Run to the phone on this one for $129. You won't be sorry for this one. Really.
Now we'll show you the case back once again, then we're going to move on so I can show you the other color that is available. I love the work that you guys are doing to your movements.
Well, you
now.
know, the next show, Jim, you know, next time we come back, we're bringing some new models with us. Wait till you see what we've got coming next time. But, you know, we have to clear out what we have left of these models. So this is a great opportunity at $129 or $130, let's say, to score. I mean, this is a score right here. This is what I would call a no-brainer. You like to call it a steal. I call it a no-brainer. Either case, you're getting a phenomenal piece for $130 here. You're getting a lot of watch for a little bit of money.
I call this the honey I gotta. This is the one where she says, you know what, you bought enough watches this month. And you go, but honey, look at the price, I gotta. How can I pass that up? I've used that excuse quite a few times. And here's the black dial, which to me, I think it's just awesome.
Well, I love a black face, Jim, but you know, if you look closely at the yellow sweep hand there and then come in real tight, you're going to see a really fine yellow outline on those luminous markers. Again, it's the detail. With the red one, we had the red outline on the luminous markers. With the yellow sweep hand, you've got a little bit of a yellow outline on those luminous markers. What a beautiful shot, guys. God,
I think this is just such an extraordinary watch. And if everybody at home could see this watch up close like I get to, you would see why I'm as excited as I am about it. This is just, it's cool. You've got the multiple finishes. You've got the brush finish up here on the sides of the case. Mm-hmm. And then you've got all the polishing work on the bezel, all the accents. Then you have this hexagonal shaped crown.
I think that's actually octagonal, Jim. Is that
Is
eight?
it?
I think so.
How many sides it has?
I think it's 8. Yeah, it's an octagonal.
Okay, it's octagonal then. Well, fine. Just correct me on my show then.
Come on, Jim.
Let's see if we're going out for drinks later or not. No, just kidding.
Every place is closed.
Yeah, this is true by the time we get out of here. And by the way, folks, you're getting, I'll use the really sharp end. This is that sapphire crystal.
Think about it. You got an automatic movement with sapphire crystals front and back for $129. Enough said. Run to the phone, ladies and gentlemen. Please take advantage of this.
Not a scratch on it.
Don't miss it. The black is great. The silver is great. It's a sport watch. You can wear it every day. And like you like to call it, a beater with the rubber band, the sapphire crystal, solid stainless steel. It's a beater.
That's a great point, because I use that term a lot. I didn't think about applying it to this, but when you get into this price range, it's a great way to look at it. Plus, it's a beater that's going to take the beating, because you've got the sapphire crystal. It's got a great automatic movement inside. It's going to keep great time. You have the date as well as the day. What more could you ask for?
Just simple elegance.
You could ask for my hands to not be as shaky. Every time I say a word, I talk, my hand moves. But there you go. And there's that great dial design, those great squares. That you have the same square down here on the strap and right back here on the case back.
Yeah.
Folks, it's $129. It's a steal. Grab this for yourself, and you will be very, very glad that you did. Day and date in an automatic movement for $129
at
with
this kind
sapphire
of a,
crystals.
right, and at this kind of a blowout price, it makes a great gift. It's a great opportunity to buy a nice gift at a reasonable price.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Now, Ken, are we moving on? You want to stay on this, or what are we doing? See, I just, at will, just start talking to the producer.
Well, you know what it is? I think what it is, I see a lot of people on the phone, so maybe they're calling for this one. It looks like the black is being dangerously close to being sold out now,
black,
Jim.
we're going into a dozen remaining now.
Right, but on the silver tone, we still have a decent quantity on those, folks. So take advantage of this, because $129, you're not going to see a value like this every day. You really won't. I mean, we have our show right now tonight packed with value, but this is certainly right up there. I mean, if we had to say the top 3 or 4 values in the show, this has got to be in the top 3 or 4.
Now, take a look at this again on my wrist. I think this is a very, very attractive, everyday kind of watch. And, I make a lot of references to collectors out there, but there's a lot of people that, are just tuning in, and they're like, you know what, I'm not a collector. I want one really good watch. This is going to be a great piece for you to consider, because it's going to be a great everyday watch. It's going to go with anything that you wear, and it's going to handle any kind of abuse. When you have a sapphire crystal, the only natural substance that is harder than sapphire is a diamond. So basically, nothing short of a diamond really is ever going to scratch it. So that means to you, the watch can look, the crystal can look brand new 20, 30, 40, 50
Jim,
years.
the black is in danger.
Black is now in single digits. At this point, with the amount of people we have on the phone lines, we're going to call that sold out. And
I was just thinking about something, Jim. With this watch here at $130, and the other automatic that we had a few pieces of, and I think they only had the white left. I forgot the J number on it already, but that was $79. Basically, for $200, you could pick up 2 automatic watches, Jim.
I also noticed something else, and if we could do a quick close-up here. This is ingenious on Stuhrling's end. I've seen a lot of people go out and buy a rubberized strap watch. Okay, and they buy the watch, and let's go ahead and show this the strap right here if we can. I'll try and hold it as still as possible. And what you have to do to size a rubberized strap when it's in a deployment like this is you have to physically, you have to size it down, and then you have to cut the strap, which means if you goof and you cut it too short, that's it. With Stuhrling, you have 4 different adjustments right here that it could be, you could have, because everybody's wrist swells and goes down summer and winter and all this and all that. You have 3 different adjustments you can move back and forth, and that's on both ends of the clasp. So you have 6 different modes that you can go to. So you can adjust this to yourself. Right now, during this winter, when your wrist may be a little bit skinnier by about, a millimeter or 2.
The black is officially gone, it looks like.
It is. And when the summertime comes and your wrist swells back up from the heat, it's not going to be too tight, because you can have it set here and move it out a couple of pegs. This is ingenious, and I have seen very, very few companies that gave you that option. I love that. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jim.
You guys think of everything.
It was all me. Anyway, folks, it looks like we got a lot of people online. Grab it up, run to the phone. $129. You're getting sapphire crystals front and back. Super value right here. And I don't know if we have a chance to get back to that other watch. There's so many watches I want to get into, but that multilingual, there was only less than 50 pieces left on the white. But
yeah, I'm not sure we're going to have a chance to get to that, because we're going to go into that regulator next.
All right, let's get to it.
And right here's your last look. There's that gorgeous automatic movement powering this very, very inexpensive timepiece.
And
right
you
here.
notice how you even have, as far as styling goes, I mean, we're talking value, 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 but just for a moment, let's talk a little bit about design and styling. You've got the polished bezel, you know, around the circumference of the watch, and then you've got the, you know, the satin brush finish on the side of the case, so it gives you a little bit of contrast, a little bit of design styling there, Jim.
Which one should I put on? Should I put on the rose or the stainless?
Why don't you put on the rose?
Put on the rose. Okay. Now, don't forget, coming up, J133.
Oh, I can't wait to get into this watch here. That's a big one. That's
yeah,
my
you know,
pick
we
for the
can
show.
do that next after our next presentation here. That has the Swiss out of G15 chronograph movement inside. I like the skeletonized hands, and I had done a little bit of photography work for you on this one as well. And I didn't even notice the hands till I took the pictures, and I went, oh, hey, check out the skeletonized hands.
It's awesome. It's awesome. I can't wait to get to that piece. I sure hope we're going to get to it.
Also coming up, J132913. This is a solid 316L stainless steel, beautifully made chronograph. Now on here, take a look at the center links. I love that knurled design to those center links. You got a sapphire crystal, again a Swiss out of G15 chronograph movement, $249.99.
That right there is over $1,000 watch. I know the retail says $880 right there, but this is a major, major value right here on this show tonight. Here's the one that I was talking about. This is a multilingual day of the week. It's French and English. And once you set it to French, then it skips over the English and it'll give you the oui. I know, maybe, you know, ever since the French denied us their airspace, but we won't talk about that. But nevertheless, we won't talk about...
We're friends with the French again now. Did you hear that?
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
we are?
We are friends with the French again.
Okay.
I guess. I don't know.
Well, that's good. They gave us the Statue of Liberty. But in any case, this is a great value right here. For $79, now all we have is the white. And that was another model that we found a few pieces stashed away.
Yeah,
and we brought them
they're
out.
taking the statue back. They're repossessing the Statue of Liberty. I don't know how they're going to move it. But no, I'm just kidding.
Anyway, everybody should get that last one right there because there aren't a lot left.
It's J138796. What do we have here? We are down to 10 of the brown, and we are down to 15 of the black. Now, last year, when the original model of this came out, it sold out lightning fast. This is the newer version, and every time we've aired it, we've had sellouts. It's an amazing piece. And if we get a chance to show it to you live, I think you're just going to be blown away. $199. It's an astounding value.
Right, and the only difference, well, not the only difference, but one difference between this model and the previous one that you just mentioned is the previous one had stick markers all the way around the dial.
You're right.
This one has the applied
Arabic
numerals. This one has the Arabic numerals, correct.
And one that I guarantee we're going to show you live because we didn't get to this last time that you were here, and Larry was in the parking lot on the way back to the hotel just beating me over the head. Why didn't we get to this? So I promised him we're going to show this watch live, J132903.
Folks, you've got to see this one, the Anadigi. I hope I can show it to you.
Chronograph, you've got the alarms, you've got the date, the simplified date, all of this, and you can just turn it all off if you want to and just have the analog portion showing $249.99, and that is a Swiss movement inside there. And what do we have? That is also a sapphire crystal as well. First value pay of $83 is going to bring that home, J132903.
And when we feature this, I'll tell you a little bit more about that piece.
You always have exciting stories to share. That's why I'm glad that you're here again. I miss seeing you. It's been, 3-4 weeks now since you've been here.
3 weeks.
You know, it's great to have you back. I know that we always get positive response from the
I'll tell you what,
viewers.
I can't wait till next time because next time we're bringing some new models out. So it's going to be very exciting.
I'm always up for new models.
It's either exciting because they're brand new models or exciting because we have tremendous markdowns. So either way, you're going to have excitement.
Now on this guy right here, let me just show you quickly the silver tone because I want to make that last single one silver tone disappear immediately, however you want to say it. This is the all silver tone with the black strap.
Are you saying we only have one of those left, Jim?
We have one, and now we're going to show, you like that, those cat-like reflexes, huh?
Wow.
Well, we're going to show the rose because that silver tone's going to be gone in the next 4 seconds.
Well, you know what's odd about that, okay? I mean, it's not necessarily odd, but you have to understand, you know, there are some companies, Jim, and I know you're aware of this, if they have, let's say, a stainless steel version and a rose gold version that is plated. I mean, it's not solid gold. You know, we're not saying that it is. But nevertheless, that rose gold plating, or even yellow gold plating for that matter, is more money.
It's much more expensive. It's an extra process.
Exactly, and it's also more material cost. I mean, it's not like it's fake gold. I mean, it is real gold, but it's plated. My point is that a lot of companies will charge more for the yellow gold plated or the rose gold plated. What we do, of course, is we use dollar cost averaging. Okay, so in other words, this is really a more expensive model to manufacture than the previous one, and yet the other one sold out. So for this price, for $349, you're actually getting a little bit more bang for your buck. I mean, not much, but nevertheless, because of our dollar cost averaging, you're getting rose gold plating.
Now, if I recall, up until just recently, you always did have a slight upcharge for any of the gold layered models, and that process has now gone away.
Right.
That you're keeping the same price points, which is unbelievable to me that you're able to do that.
Right.
And let me go ahead and show
it's
you
just simpler.
a quick tour of this watch.
Because, you know, if we gave another price point, then you got to have a different SKU number and a different J number, and it does complicate it. So we just used what's referred to as dollar cost averaging, and we offer them at the same price. But some companies charge, like you say, an upcharge.
Absolutely.
Okay. As
well they should. Now, I'm going to show you what makes this watch as special as it is. Now, the first thing when you saw it here, this is a full-size 42mm case diameter. Now, I'm actually going to go ahead and start functioning the watch here. You see the one big hand that's running, that's just your minutes. If you look at the outer scale, let me use my little pointer here. This outer chapter ring here, this is just your minutes, okay? That's what that hand obviously is pointing to. Now, the subdial at the 12 o'clock position are your hours. There you go, go into 4. It's right now it's 4:05. 4:10, 4:15, 4:30, and the subdial at the 6 o'clock position is your off-center sweep seconds hand. This is what was considered to be the doctor's watch. It's easier to read, and it only takes you a couple of seconds to really get used to it, to understand how it operates. And right here, now you're getting additional functions that most companies, when they give you a regulator, it's a regulator and that's it. With Stuhrling, you're getting the regulator features. You're getting a date complication, the 6 o'clock position, as well as that animated AM/PM indicator at the 9 as well. All this in an automatic movement, a beautifully patterned dial, multiple patterns in here, by the way. And I'll show you that automatic movement.
You've got the top edge, you know, top and bottom coin edge bezel. It's got a lot of details. This watch just reeks of class. I mean, this is the kind of watch that you want to wear when you're meeting your girlfriend's parents for the first time. You want to show them you've got some class, okay?
That's right.
This is, it's a regulator. I mean, this is a different kind of movement. It's a different kind of course, you know, we know who made this famous was Mr. Lang from Chrono Swiss. You know, previously it was done in big stopwatches or pocket watches.
Exactly.
Okay, and then I think it was around maybe in the 70s or early 80s. I don't remember when Chrono Swiss came into being. He came out with his regulator, and a lot of other people took a whack at it. And of course, Stuhrling, we've had a couple of different regulator watches, but this is by far our finest for sure.
Well, you guys are building some phenomenal movements. The calibers that you have created yourselves and that you're using under the supervision of Swiss watchmakers, all being assembled in your own factories that you own.
Absolutely.
I mean, so you have complete quality control over everything.
If you're looking for a piece that is classy and stylish and you want to just knock people out, it's an automatic movement. The regulator, I love the sleek hands on this piece. This is it. We have, I guess the silver tone is sold out, or the stainless steel is sold out, so we have the rose gold remaining. And you know, as you say, Jim, you know, you're making a ring now that's a rose gold ring just because rose gold has gotten so popular, and here it is. We have the rose gold still available. So
$349.96. You've got sapphire crystals front and back, 4 value pays of $87. And I'm going to go ahead and open this one up so we can see the movement as well.
Can you show them, or I'd be happy to. I don't care. You can do it. I can do it. Whatever. We get a lot of people that will call us up, and they say that the dual deploying clasp is broken. I can't open my, you know, I can't, it doesn't seem to work. And all it is we have to explain it to them.
We'll quickly demonstrate it.
We have to explain it to them over the phone that there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, unless you know how to work it for the first time, you know, it's a little tricky. You got to open it.
Well, it was such a high-end luxury feature that only until recently did you start seeing on watches that were less than several thousands of dollars. And you guys were certainly one of the first to put them on pretty much all of your watches. We'll go ahead and demonstrate that now. If we can pull back just a hair.
Yeah, those dual deploying clasps,
That's probably good right
they
there.
actually cost
All
quite
you
a
do
bit
is
of money.
just set up the watch initially.
But see, that's the part that I want to show them. Before you open it, close it. Because they see that, and they try to put the strap in there.
I'm going to use a little tool here to open up so I don't tear up my finger.
This is the part right there that a lot of people don't understand.
All you have to do is pry that open this up.
Once it's open, you're good.
Slide in the strap to the hole that you want, and this is simply going to lock right in place. We'll go ahead and lock it into that hole.
Thank you, Jim.
Snaps in. You close this end and then this end, and it stays closed. All you need to do to open it, to take it off your wrist,
push the button.
Is push the two buttons.
It's
and
great.
That's all there is to it. What it does, it saves wear and tear on your strap. And if you're like me, I'm a little bit on the lazy side. I don't like having to buckle all my watches and back and forth. It's quicker, it's faster, it's easier to change your watch. And again, it saves your expensive straps, because from constant buckling and unbuckling, you're going to wear out your strap at that particular point. So
thank you for showing that, Jim.
Absolutely. I'll do anything for you. You know that. And I'll do anything for my viewers, and they very well know that from the emails that we exchange. And we have about a minute and 20 seconds remaining here to demonstrate. Once again, I want to go ahead and run this through the times.
This is such a great value for $350. You're getting a real piece of horology here. You know, you're getting a real piece of the industry right here with this regulator. It's an automatic. I mean, everything you want in a watch.
And there you see that great animated AM/PM indicator. This is the best function for that. Obviously, you can look out your window and see if it's daylight or nighttime. But when you're setting your date, you never, ever, ever set your date between generally the hours of 10 to 2. But I usually say 9 to 3. That way it's completely safe for everybody. This will let you know where you're at. If it's ready to change the date at around midnight, we'll go ahead and flip that around to about 11 o'clock. This would be 11 o'clock p.m. And as we go over, you see your date is wanting to switch. There is a separate gear that goes into place to actuate that change. And if you were to stop the movement and manually force the date change right now, it could actually ruin that gear. In any watch, whether it be this Stuhrling or a $300,000 Ulysses Nardine, it doesn't matter. Any mechanical movement is going to have that. So this is a great way to always know if your watch is in that date setting mode or not.
Can you stop it somewhere just so we can read the time?
Yeah, let's make it 7:10.
A lot of people may not know how to read a regulator. Right there's your hour wheel. It's 10 after 7 and 50 seconds. There you go. It's a different way to read a watch. You get used to it in just a matter of minutes. And then once you get used to it, it's very, very easy. But this is a watch, Jim, for people who are committed to having a great sense of style. It really is.
I am committed to my great sense of style.
I can see that. You got a new suit today.
Well, yeah, I
new coat.
picked up this jacket, picked up this shirt today, and figured, you know, what the heck? Larry's in town. I got to look sharp. I tell you what, you always come out here, you got your power ties and your slick suits, and you know what? I got to keep up with that. Now, don't forget, we do not have a lot on this bubble. J120876, I have 1 in silver tone. I have 10 in black, and I have a dozen in the gold dial, and that is it. These are going to be gone forever. It's a brand new markdown.
There's only about
$79.
25 total pieces left on this watch for $79. I can't believe there's any left. But folks, if you're watching the show, by all means, run to the phone right now and get that bubble watch for a lady in your life, whether it be your daughter, your wife, your mother, your sister, whatever. For $79, you must get that watch. That is a super, super markdown.
I like a bit of that bubble.
Okay. What do we got?
J132749. Now, this one's still available only in the silver tone dial. This is great, folks. It's 40mm case diameter, sapphire crystals front and back, automatic movement that powers your day and your date at a phenomenal new price of $129. You've got 3 value pays of $43 as well. How can you not jump all over that watch? J132749.
Oh, here we go. All right, here we go.
We have one more to show, or we're going to go straight to the new one? One more. And you know what? This is going to be, hopefully, the next piece that we're going to air.
Gosh.
J132903. For $249, you've got a 42. You know what? I'm going to measure that. I think it's a 44mm case diameter as I'm looking at it.
What, the
I'm pretty
Anadigi?
good about eyeballing it, yeah.
The Anadigi? Okay.
Sapphire crystal. And you've got a Swiss movement inside that gives you your analog time. It gives you your date. It gives your chronograph functions, alarm, as well as a countdown timer, all on that digital display. Or you can simply choose to turn off that digital display. I mean, either way you want to go.
The Anadigi has so
phenomenal
much,
watch.
and I would, looks like we're getting short on time. I hope we're going to get to it, but if we don't get to it, ladies and gentlemen, buy the Anadigi and entertain yourself for a month. You'll have so much fun with that watch, playing with it. It's worth the money. But now let's get into this bad boy right here.
This is just a great all-around, everyday. It's a good all-arounder. J133335. This is the solid stainless steel chronograph, Swissetta G15 chronograph complication inside. Skeletonized hands, beautifully done dial, as always. I mean, it's a Stuhrling. It's going to have a beautiful dial. I love the bolsters that you put at the lugs and the screws on the case, the tachometer scale, the works. Again, it's a watch that at first glance it kind of looks like it's a pretty simple watch. Not in any way.
This is
a lot of detail.
This is a fantastic piece. As I mentioned to you, I went to my best friend in the world, Don Gallagher, to his bar mitzvah, his young son's bar mitzvah this weekend in Los Angeles. And I wasn't sure what I should do, give him money, give the kid money, or he's like a nephew to me, or a watch. And I gave him this watch. This is what I gave him. In fact, I gave him the one with the silver dial with the black hands. But nevertheless, he's a very fast runner, and I thought a chronometer, a chronograph watch would be perfect for him. And this is the one that I chose. This model right here has it all. As you mentioned, it's got an ETA movement in it, the skeleton hands. It's big, it's large, it's precise, it's accurate.
I love the contrast stitching to match the accents on the dial for each watch.
You know which one is my favorite? The yellow dial is really hot too, but the black and the orange.
Well, let's show that. Let's go ahead and show them
You
all.
don't see black and orange. I mean, the one you're wearing right there is awesome too, but the dial work, everything about this watch for $199, as I mentioned before, if you take the top 3 or 4 values in this show, it's going to be hard to pick. But this one right here, this is a fantastic piece for $199. This watch was actually, I did some more research on this piece, Jim, and what I found out was we actually had made a mistake. I don't even know if you're aware of that, but we were supposed to sell this watch at $349 last fall. Now, you were here, we sold it for $249. We had made a mistake, not you guys. It was a mistake on our end, and we sold them at $249. And I wasn't here at that time, but you were, and you sold them for $249. That watch was supposed to be $349. We made a decision to then hold them back for maybe next summer or next fall, where we could get our $349. Well, we scratched that plan. And we threw them out here on this show tonight for this special airing at only $199. This is a super opportunity. We sold a lot of these at $249.
Does this deal go away when you leave? Because if that's the case, these are they're not going to be any less.
I'm telling you, this is a tremendous, tremendous opportunity right here at $199. This is a fantastic. It's an ETA movement, which, that's one of the finest movements in the world, wouldn't you say?
That is that's the #1 manufacturer of movements is Swiss ETA. And here you have, there's all your color choices right here. We're going to start with this side over here. You've got this is the silver tone with the red hands that I was wearing. Mm-hmm. Then you have the yellow, which I would have to say that would be my one pick. I love a yellow dial. It's very, very unique.
Yeah.
Next to that is going to be the silver tone with black.
That's the one I gave to Zach. Great job, Zach.
We're calling it silver tone white, I'm afraid. That's what we're calling it. Oh, you know why? Because it has the contrast stitching in white.
Okay.
Now, the last choice we have here is your favorite, which is the black and orange. And we're going to let me show the strap on that as well. And there you see that orange contrast stitching.
Is that gorgeous? And look, you've got the date at the 4 o'clock position.
That is quite cool. It's very sporty.
Even though this is a man's watch, I could see soccer moms wearing this.
It's a manly watch.
No, I could see soccer moms wearing this. You know what I mean? Because they can time the kids racing and everything.
I mean, the kind in the big SUVs? It's kind of match up with that big rugged truck that she's driving there.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is a great chronograph. It's just got a great look to it, a great design. The value is there. I mean, there's no question about it. Then it just
I love those orange hands.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, you don't see a lot of orange and black. I think of the San Francisco Giants or the Baltimore Orioles. I can't think of any other teams, in any of the professional sports.
You're going back a ways, ain't you?
What?
J133335.
But
Halloween,
black.
Halloween.
Black and orange. So this is our Halloween special right here.
Now we have just limited that watch to 1 month a year.
I'm telling you what, though, it becomes a question of taste and style. I mean, the value is unquestionably there. The question is, do you like the style? Do you like the look? And I love the look of this watch, and I hope you do too. It's fabulous.
Now, I just want to make sure everybody is aware of the situation of the quantities here. The yellow is going to be the first to sell out, but chasing right behind it is that silver tone red. So really, it doesn't matter which way you go. They're all great-looking watches. And again, let me give a quick measure on this because normally I can eyeball this stuff, but I guess
I've got it measured at
off.
42. I measured it in the office at 42, so now I check my work, Jim.
And we do. It's a 42-millimeter case diameter. That's what I would have said, but I wanted to make 100% sure. This is why I love having my tools here.
And you know, it also, I know most chronos will give you split times. Some don't, but this one will too, just to mention that, if you know what I mean.
Really?
Yeah, you can get splits on this.
I wasn't aware the G15 could do that.
Yeah, you get splits with this. So if you're a track man or a track runner or...
Shows you how often I use my chronographs. I have a couple of watches with this movement. You are absolutely correct, and I want to thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah. Would you like me to show that, or do you want to show that, or does it matter?
We could show it for one brief, quick second, if we can go back to that shot real quick, and then we'll move on to our next item. Yeah, you know, out of all the G15s that I've played with, I've never really experimented. Just to let you know what the split timing is, if you, instead of hitting the stop button back up here, you hit the reset button.
Now, it stopped
pause.
at it looks like 5.6 or 5.7 seconds. Now we're going to restart it, and it catches back up. So if you're running around, you're running track, and you want to time yourself, and you come around the, you know, the one lap, you can press the bottom button as you're running and time it. Or if you're watching a race, you can hit the bottom button and get the splits, and then start it up again, and it'll catch back up because the race isn't over or whatever you happen to be timing.
See, you are an invaluable asset.
Well, you know what it is? I love track and field. You know, I grew up in the era of the 60s when, you know, UCLA... You just like wearing the short shorts,
when
UCLA and USC used to have those dual meets, that was a big event. Track has kind of gone downhill since then, but I still love the sport. So.
And I'm going to take a quick measurement on this next one here while we're talking about this. The Stuhrling chronograph G132913.
Everybody jump on that chrono, please. I mean, you got to get it. At $199, it's a super value. You won't be sorry. And don't forget, you know, everything is backed up by ShopNBC's return policy. And, of course, we're going to be there for you as well if you need any assistance with it. If you need any help, we're always there behind it as well.
J138785, this is the regulator. Now, we have sold out in the silver tone. The rose tone is what is remaining, $349.96. Again, I want to stress to everybody out there, don't be on the fence about the rose gold. If you're worried about, oh, I can't wear any of my jewelry with it, I can't wear my rings, my bracelets, don't worry about that. I have that situation very well taken care of, and just jump on that rose very quickly. It is such a luxurious looking tone to gold. It's gotten to the point now I look at yellow gold as being too bright in some cases. It's just it's like right now I'm wearing a solid 18 karat gold watch that we have coming up next month. And I look at the yellow as going, that's kind of bright. You know, I like that rose tone. It's much more mellow and inviting and warm, kind of like myself.
Well, hey, the watch needs to reflect your personality, Jim. So if that's what does it, then by all means.
Again, so you do need to get working on that cuckoo watch then, if it's going to reflect my personality.
Okay.
Also, J132903, we're going to go straight into this, and I know Larry cannot wait to get into the real guts of this watch, and I'm going to completely turn it over to him as far as that's concerned, because this watch has so many functions. You could literally be playing with it for hours just to not to learn it, but to play with everything and to show off to everybody what this does. Now, as I promised, I did measure this. Because of the absence of an actual bezel design and a larger dial, this looks larger than it is. It's only a 40-millimeter case diameter. But I tell you right now, when you look at it on my wrist, it looks at least 42. And I just measured it myself, folks. It is a 40.
Look at those pushers. Are those classy pushers or what? I love that style of pusher. Is that great?
Everything on this watch is so beautifully done.
Let me tell you, this is an analog digital watch combination. It was inspired, of course, by Tag Heuer. And, of course, there's really only two major watch companies as far as major companies go. You just shut off the simple date. But nevertheless, there's only two major watch companies that have come out with an Anadigi, and that was Tag and Bell & Ross. And ours, this is a major accomplishment for Stuhrling, by the way. This is a tremendous piece. Ours is actually 3 millimeters thinner than either one of theirs.
Really?
That's a fact, and that is a major accomplishment for Stuhrling Original. So we're very, very proud of that. This is a Swiss movement. As you can see, you've activated the chronograph. And again, this will also do splits. Now, you see how it says add? Okay, well, it's all right.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and start again.
Okay. All that means is when you're in the add function, okay, now there's a split. Okay, so it's 3.39. Now you start up the split again, and it'll catch right back up. Now you're at 9:10. Okay, you stop it again, and now we're at 14.07. But you're using the split button. If you use the top button, it says add, and what that means is you can either reset it at that point, or you can stop, and now you can add to the time by starting it up again. Okay? There's so many, and the interesting thing about this watch too, there are so many functions to it. Look how thin that is. That is very thin for a complication like this. And again, ours is 3 millimeters thinner
than everybody else's.
Than Tag or Bell & Ross. But nevertheless, what was I saying on that?
Quick release pins on there, by the way, too.
Well, we're doing a lot of quick release pins. That makes it kind of easy to change out your straps.
I really like the lug design on this, too. It's a very soft lug design.
Jim, if you want to have fun, okay, you're getting a lot of watch here for your money, but if you want to have fun, buy this watch, folks, and you'll play with it for a month. This watch will entertain you for at least 4 weeks. It's going to take you that long to master it. There are so many functions to it, and the interesting thing about it is that the crown controls all the functions. I don't know if you want to slightly pull it out and maybe just kind of run through some of the functions. We don't have to get into actually each one, but here you have, what does that say down there, TM?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, now what that is an actual countdown timer. Right now the countdown timer is set for 21 days at the bottom, 5 hours at the top, 5 hours, 3 minutes, and 41 seconds, and it's counting down. See it? 39, 38, 37. So in 21 days, 5 hours, 3 minutes, and 34 seconds, an alarm will go, a beep will go off continuously for 1 minute. So you can set your countdown timer to actually count down.
And we'll go to the next function here, which is going to be...
You have a T1. Now that's the chrono. You have to use now here, agenda. This is AG. You have an alarm which you can set for every day. If you want it to go off at 6 o'clock in the morning every day,
I like that.
It'll go off every day at 6 a.m. in the morning. And then you go into the second mode, which is the AG, which is the agenda, and you could set that you want it to go off on March the 16th, you know, which happens to be my birthday, but we won't talk about that. But nevertheless, you can have it go off on a certain date and set it down the line, and the agenda button will actually set off an alarm. So you've got literally 3 time zones if you want, because you've got the analog time and then you've got T1 and T2, and both in T1 and T2 you can also set either 12-hour or 24-hour function.
So there's nothing that you could watch. Oh, you know what? We talked about this before. Tell them about the calendar. Tell them about that calendar.
Sure. This is a perpetual...
Because I didn't believe you.
Yeah, this is a perpetual calendar watch. That's right. You heard what I said. It is a perpetual calendar watch. When you set it in the... We don't have time to actually show it, but trust me and believe me and play with it yourself. When you set it in the calendar mode, okay, it will tell you that this is Wednesday, February, or Thursday, I should say now, Thursday, February 24th, 2005, and it will tell you it is the 8th week of the year, or the 9th week. So it is a perpetual calendar. It automatically will set to the proper week of the year.
Folks, you cannot go wrong with this watch because it does everything except for wake you up and brush your teeth for you.
If you want to have a lot of fun, ladies and gentlemen, buy this watch for $250. It's a super value, and just play with it for a month. You will be entertained just trying to learn how to master this watch, and it will entertain you for a month easily.
And we have Sarah Anderson sneaking in here on the slide, getting ready for her hour. What do you have coming up, Sarah? Gold. You have gold. Ooh, we all love gold, don't we? And as Sarah walked by, you know, she was taking a look at this watch because it looks like a classic design of a traditional wristwatch. And only when you start to peer into the dial, and again, you can choose to turn all those displays off, and I'll show you that again.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Only when you peer into the dial do you see all the functions that this has.
Now, right now, it's exhibiting the simple date with 23rd. It's set to the 23rd, and then you can shut that off completely, too, if you don't want the simple date, and just leave it like that.
And it just looks like a black dial. I mean, there's no indication to anybody. I mean, look at this, even with reflections.
This is truly amazing. If you are a true watch enthusiast, you must have an Anna Digi watch, and ours is the finest out there. It really is. So We are very proud of this
You have
watch.
built superb quality. You've got the Swiss movement.
Yes.
I mean, there is nothing that you could ever want that this watch will not do. And it's $249.99, 40-millimeter case diameter, sapphire crystal. So you've got the longevity built into it right there.
Yeah.
You've got everything that you could ever ask for in a watch. And, you know, I'm so glad that we had a chance to show this live for a change.
Are we not going to have time for the divers?
We're going to go to the diver, and that's going to be our final
Oh, my
item
God,
of the
I can't
hour.
believe we're out of time. Okay, let's do
Time
it.
flies when you're with Jim.
Sure.
Time
Okay.
flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, we are having fun. This has been a lot of
903.
fun. Let's keep going. What do we got next, Jim?
Now, you know, I liked this one.
Oh,
I thought this was a great, it's a very rugged, very masculine looking piece.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, we've had a great time here tonight, and we're getting down to the last few minutes of the show, and we're ending with a bang. This is a spectacular value right here. You're getting literally a pro diver's watch. Now, it's 100-meter water resistance. This
The
really,
size of this thing.
Jim, I'm going to tell you something that you don't know. This will actually positively test at 200 meters, but we didn't test it at 200 meters. It's tested at 100 meters. As you know, to test at 200 meters costs more money, okay? But if you wanted to take this down 200 meters, trust me, you can, okay? It's got the screw-down pushers. I mean, you've got it all here.
You've also got immaculate dial work. Now, when I look at this, it has a very Nardine kind of look to it, and I love that look. Unfortunately, a lot of people can't turn around and spend, you know, $6,000 on, you know, a marine diver. But you know what? You've got the look, and I tell you right now, it's got the weight and the feel that you would only expect from a very, very expensive timepiece, unidirectional rotating bezel. Now, this does have the Swiss ETA G15 chronograph movement inside, which means it's a 1/20th of a second chronograph. You have screw-down pushers in which to activate it with screw-down crown, 100 meters water resistant, and a sapphire crystal. And I love that knurled design that you guys did on this bracelet.
Right, and that cost us more money to do that, Jim. It's inspired by Rolex. Let's say it. It's inspired by Rolex. I'm not saying it is as good as Rolex or it is Rolex. It's inspired. But nevertheless, if you are an individual out there that loves divers watches, I invite you to pick this one up and add it to your collection at $250 here. And if you don't like it, if you're not happy with it, by all means, we'll take it back. But I'm inviting you to take it because I want you to compare it and wear it next to some of your other watches and see what you think about it, because we are extremely proud of this piece. We put a lot of money into this piece, Jim, and we never in our wildest imagination thought that we would be bringing this on the air at only $249, Jim. This was never intended. This watch's retail value over $1,000. So, you know, here it is. We're selling them out. We're closing them out. By all means, if you're a person that likes divers watches, by all means, I'm inviting you to add this one to your collection right now.
This thing weighs 5 3/4 ounces.
It's solid stainless steel.
This is chunky.
It's very chunky, Jim. It's solid 316L surgical stainless steel. You've got the sapphire crystal. You've got the, as I said, we've only tested it at 100 meters, you know, to save on the expense. But truly, this will go down as deep as 200 meters, Jim. I promise you that. I guarantee it. Okay?
This is an exceptional value. I love the fact that you've got the sapphire crystal on there, which basically means, I mean, there's nothing that you're going to do to this watch, to this crystal, that's going to affect it. It's going to look like brand new at all times. 165 grams is what this watch weighs. You will know this watch is on your wrist. I know we have to go, and Miss Sarah Anderson is standing by. Larry, thank you so much for coming out here.
It's been a blast being here, Jim. As always, I really enjoy being here with you. Thank you to everybody for participating in the show. Keep those emails coming, and until next time, all good things.
Thank you very much, everybody, for staying up with me. And I do believe Miss Sarah Anderson is standing by. I want to thank everybody for joining me. And take it away, Sarah. Have fun.
Decorate European Elegance has the answers to your home decorating questions and the most incredible furniture and home decor accessories we've ever presented. We have rich colors, fabrics, and styles from English country to French chateau, all selected by renowned home and lifestyle designer Corbin Seitz.
Join me, Corbin Seitz, for Decorate European Elegance. I love entertaining outside on the patio, and you will too after you create some outdoor rooms for your own home. You probably have a wonderful patio or a deck that you need to use a little bit more, and we have some great ideas on how to furnish it, how to live in it, and how to enjoy it.
Outdoor living here on ShopNBC. Every region of Italy has its own story of passion. Find yours. Regions of Italy, here on ShopNBC. You've seen her designs on national television and in the home decor magazines. Now, ShopNBC welcomes Corbin Seitz.
I hope to communicate to all of those viewers out there who are looking for some simple answers to create